Hello, welcome viewers. I am RxOliver and these are my friends, and today we're playing Deep Space RPG. This adventure is called Tin Can, Idaho. Is written by the one and only John Hicks of Farsight Games, as is the game Deep Space. I'm joined tonight by Chris, David and Martin, all as returning characters from our little RxOliver Deep Space verse that we are creating. This one is called Tin Can, Idaho. We'll hear a little bit more about the adventure in a second. First, I wanted to just tell you a couple of little things. We are streaming live on Twitch tonight. If you want to check out Deep Space RPG, you can type !Deep Space into the chat and you'll get a link for that. It's currently free. If you want to get it for free, you can pay what you want currently on DriveThruRPG. And if you do !Music, you'll get a link to White Bat Audio on YouTube, whose music we are using for a soundtrack tonight. I use White Bat Audio a lot. They have really excellent, free to use, Twitch safe and YouTube safe soundtracks, and they're excellent, and we are using their music tonight. So shout out to John Hicks and Deep Space RPG, Farsight Games, and shout out to White Bat Audio on YouTube. So without any further ado, let's get into a deep space adventure. Your crew are a few hours into a journey across the capital states, but the captains decided to take a shortcut through uncharted international space to avoid a travel tax. The Starship, a 120-meter passenger vessel called the Chase, is pulled from its journey and ends up in an asteroid field around a huge dark gas giant and is immediately torn apart. The Chase is a privately owned passenger transport that travels the capital state's spaceways, but the captain has fallen on hard times and to save money he's plotted a jump outside the lanes and across uncharted space. This has saved him thousands on taxes, but it has cost him his ship. You're suddenly pulled from your singularity jump about 12 hours into your journey. The unplanned stop throws passengers and crews across the halls and cabins of the ship, and almost immediately the ship is pummeled by asteroids and micrometeors. Looking out of a port, all the explorers can see is a dense field of rocks and dust and the ring of the gas giant. Now, your ship has been pounded by asteroids and mini-meters, and you have about 10 seconds to get to the escape pod. So, what we're going to do is you're going to look at your character sheet each. We'll go one at a time. Erica, you can go first. So, Martin, look at your character sheet, and you'll see where it says your equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Choose one thing to take with you. The rest you will not have. You'll have a spacesuit. You've got a spacesuit. Forget armor. You don't have time to grab armor. You can grab one of those other things.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna choose. Oh, I'm like a fighter, so I'm gonna choose the pulse pistol.
Remember, the rifle's more damage than the pistol. And
okay, I'll take the rifle then.
Okay, so you're taking the rifle. Camille, you have 10 seconds to get to the escape pod. What are you grabbing from your inventory?
Oh, obviously, my data is the most important, so I'm going for my hand scanner.
Your hand scanner, okay. And Chris, Rudy, you have 10 seconds to get to the escape pod. What are you grabbing?
Peanut. Rudy, where's my character sheet? There. Oh, that's a picture, not a...
You just go to bio and info, and it says gear next to your picture.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take my pulse pistol, because no
pulse
one else
pistol.
took anything.
Martin's got a gun. Martin's took his rifle.
Yeah, I got a gun. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the three of
We
you...
both got a gun, though.
The four of you, you are four. There is an NPC, Tom Niles, who's the medic who was travelling with you, and two others make it to the escape pod. You make it to this small escape pod. Let me just pull up the information about it, okay? So you make it into the escape pod. It seats 8, but there's only 6 of you made it. Everyone else Well, you don't know. Maybe they're dead. Maybe they made it to other escape pods. Maybe you'll never know. But
At least they died in the honor of RxOliver.
6 of you have made it to the escape pod. The 3 of you and your medic, Tom Niles, and an engineer named Boers and a navigator named Chang. The pod will keep you all alive for 48 hours. So, Boers and Chang, I'm going to drop them onto the thing just so you can see some tokens for them. Boers and Chang. Boers is a large male with a shock of white hair. He's quiet and subdued. And Chang is a tall female with short black hair. She's enraged. Chang shouts, "I knew it! I damn knew it! I told that stupid captain, and jumping through the uncharted space was bad, but now I had to save money on his transit tax, a stupid fuck making unregistered jump. No flight plan, no registration route, nobody fucking knows we're here!" Boers is like, "Yeah." Chang says again, "Some huge gravity well came out of nowhere and yanked us right out of our jump. How? It's impossible. We should have been vaporized in transit." And Boers just looks again and goes, "Yeah." Chang, "As soon as we're out of the jump, the gravity well vanishes. It's not natural. I don't know what's happened. Not natural. Something's grabbed us, I'm sure." Boers says again, "Yes." Situation is, you know that the pod is designed to transmit a distress beacon with its location so that rescue can arrive within 36 hours. But you have no flight plan. So without a flight plan, there is no location. Somebody might get your distress call, but no coordinates. Nobody's coming.
Well, first off, I'm going to try and calm the shouting crew member so he doesn't waste any valuable oxygen.
Okay. Is there a skill we can use for that? I don't even remember what our skill is.
I think
The skill that can help that. I have a pistol.
charisma.
Charisma is a skill, yes. Make a charisma check.
Yeah.
Now,
How do I
for anyone new to deep space, you have
roll in the system
you have
again?
11. You have 11 stats, ranged from 1 to 11 on your number. You roll a d12, and the target number is 13 on any standard test. So you roll in d12 plus your stat, and if you hit 13, you've made a success.
Okay, yeah, that's how it works. So I've got a 10 in
David.
charisma.
Okay, so you've rolled a 10, but notice if you click your token,
Yep.
a list of all your skills comes up at the top of the screen.
Yeah, I've got a 10 in charisma.
So you've rolled a 20 then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you managed to, let's say you managed to cool Chang down a little bit for a few minutes anyway. She seems to be subdued a little bit. In fact, she says, "Yeah, you're right, Doc. You're right. Look.
It is vital we save our oxygen.
Yeah, well, yeah. I need to calm down. I'm burning extra oxygen. I'm sorry. I'm calm. And she looks in like a little bag, and she takes some pills out of a bottle. She rattles the pill bottles, rattling in her shaking hands, and she just goes, takes half the fucking bottle. I'll be fine, Doc. I'll be fine. How the fuck are we gonna get out of here? We're gonna die out here. No one knows we're here.
I look over at Rudy. Any suggestions?
What do you want from Rudy?
Suggestion?
I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at you for suggestions. Can we do something in the pod to, like, send out a distress signal or something?
So you are sending out a distress signal. Here's the thing, right? You are sending out a distress signal.
Okay.
But no one knows your flight path. No one knows where you are, so they'll get a signal but no coordinates. Because you were going through a regular chartered flight path, and your captain didn't want to pay tax, so he fucked off up a back road, basically. And to go up that back road,
and nobody's coming to those back roads, basically.
Nobody knows you're there because it's uncharted, and it's, yeah.
Is there a way for us to transmit, like, coordinates or something from the escape pod?
Sure. Do you know what your coordinates are?
Yes.
No, there's not. But after some short time of talking, panicking, you will hear something. So it's not too long before something happens. After a few hours, or after an hour, the limited sensors on your escape pod start to beep. There is a ship out there. Would anybody like to do a scan?
I'll scan.
It's a science roll, and if you have a scanner, you get a +1.
Oh, I got a scanner. It's the only thing I took, and I've got a science 11.
So you
So
get
I'm quite-
+1. So you can only.
I'm quite proficient at science.
It's almost an auto success. Almost. You can only fail in a 1.
And I rolled a 1.
Oh my days!
I fidget with my hand scanner and it can't get it
Have you got an 11 in that skill?
Yeah.
And you get +1 from the scanner. So that's
yeah.
12, and you get +1 from
12.
the roll. So nah, there's got to be a way you can fail. It can't be you can't automatically definitely success. I would say that you do fail with that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think that even a 1 would be a success with this mass, but I'm going to say that a 1's it's always got to be a fail.
Yeah, I'd say it's a critical failure, right?
For some reason, whether it's panic or stress, you're just not able to work out how the
Oh no, it
panel
isn't
on your...
me. It's my hand scanner. That's obviously
You're not
something
quite
wrong
sure
with my
how
hand
to
scanner.
work out how the panel on your pod works. Would anybody else like to give it a go? It's just a science roll.
D12, yeah.
Well, you can, if you click your token, you should have a macro for it.
My science isn't that good.
But if your science is 2 or more, that's a success. And you're an engineer.
Well, we
so I
can't all
imagine
be
it is.
gifted.
I'm good at strong stuff.
I don't know where my token is.
Token is here.
Where is it on the map? I don't
I'm
see it
looking
either.
at a spaceship.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
so
on the
am I.
wrong map, guys. I'm so sorry.
Oh, we need to change the map, or
No. That was
No,
my
no,
mistake.
he-
I am
he
sorry,
showed us
boys.
the wrong space.
There's your token.
Oh, I
there.
thought that I was.
I'm very sorry, boys.
I
That
thought
was
we
my
were
bad.
supposed to be looking at that spaceship.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be looking at that.
Yeah, I
spaceship.
thought. Yeah, that's what I thought where we were.
I do apologise.
Right, so I've hit open character sheet, and then
What's your science? 2 or more?
I don't know, mate, because all of the stuff has just popped up at the top. I've just clicked science and it did a 12.
If you open character sheet, it's on the left-hand side. Science. It went on attributes and abilities. On your character sheet, open character sheet, go attributes and abilities. You've got a science of 10, so you've definitely made it. So you successfully managed to work the scanner. So the quick scan reveals a massive vessel. No, sorry, it's not a massive vessel. It's a small vessel. Sorry. This quick scan reveals a vessel drifting just above the rings of the gas giant. It's damaged, but seemingly intact. It appears to be an old hauler, about 60 meters long, with faint signs of power. The scanners on the pod won't be able to tell you much more, but what you can tell is that the singularity drive appears to be operational. Now, your pod does have limited directional thrusters. That ship has power. Now, if you can get your universal airlock to seal over an entrance to that ship, that might just be a way home.
Right, so do we need this pilot?
we have a navigator, don't we?
You have...
Pretty- I'm good at flying
Yes.
stuff. I think that's one of my skills. Yeah.
If somebody would like to make a
got
pilot
drive.
roll then,
Oh no, I've got a 6. Is that just okay? I'm
it
guessing.
means you're going to have to roll a 7 or more to get a success. Because it's a 13 is a
Mine
success.
is 3, so you're
Oh.
better than me.
Okay.
The medic...
My pilot-
Are
is
you a
1.
pilot?
The medic...
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
obviously
there you
the
go.
medic
Martin,
has-
you're our independent pilot.
All right. So.
the medic has a 3.
Is this for me to assess the situation then?
Hang on 2 secs.
Okay.
Because-
You're going to be docking, so you've
Hang on,
plenty of
hang on.
practice doing that,
Hang
so
on,
you should be good.
Hang on. Your navigator has an 8. Your
are
navigator
you?
has an 8 in pilot. Would you like me to get the navigator to roll?
No,
No, I reckon.
No,
Nah, we
because the
could do
navigator
it.
didn't make it. They died in the airlock. It closed in their head, and that's why they're not here.
Well, they are here.
It's
they are
canonical
here.
now. Now they're dead now.
But if you want to make the roll, go ahead and make the roll. Because remember, this is Chang. This is the one that's like going mental, pacing up and down, eating half a bottle of pills. So maybe she's distracted, and Erica does it.
I got an 8. That's right. Yeah, I have
And
to
what-
get over the 6, right?
What was your skill?
I'm trying
A
to-
7. Yeah, so 8 plus 7 is 15, so that's a success. Yeah, that is
Cool.
a success. So, the pod's going to take you about an hour to get to the vessel. En route, you see evidence of wrecks of other starships, at least half a dozen of them. Some of them are torn apart completely by age and also by these rocks. There's lots of rocks, mini asteroids or mini meteors, whatever you want to call them, but there's lots of rocks around banging into these ships. And this is obviously what's kicked fuck out of your ship and what's kicked fuck out of these ships. There's 6, 7, 8 different hulls. Hard to tell because some of them are broken up into a few pieces, but there's a few other shells of starships floating around. But you do see, as you approach this ship, it seems damaged but intact, apart from a hole that goes straight through the ship, top to bottom, as evidenced by the ragged metal splayed outwards at the lower hull, as if it's exploded from the inside. And this has taken out the main boarding ramp and airlock, so the only access is actually the airlock in the cargo bay. Huge letters run down the side of the starship. Idaho. I-D-A-H-O.
Can I determine
Rudy
which
reads it in his
nation
accent.
this vessel used to belong to? Is it Greater Pakistani? Is it the Neo-Trumpetian Empire?
Give me an intelligence roll.
Alrighty. Usually I'm good at those. Usually. Alright, so intelligence, that's I've got
Just
is
remember,
there intelligence?
just
It's
remember-
science, right?
Science, yes. Just click your token. Click your token and you'll see the things at the top.
Yeah. Alright, so I got a 12 in that at the moment.
So that's a
Plus
23.
23, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's say that you can quite easily tell which nation it comes from. Now, just for fun, I'll let you pick which one it is. It could be an ally, it could be an enemy, it could be a neutral.
I mean, last
be an
time our
RxOliver
greatest
ship.
enemies was the Neo Kazakhstani of Greater Kazakhstan.
It was the Greater Empire of Kazakhstan and the Neo-Trumpetian Order and Canada.
Yeah.
Were the rival
Canada.
countries in the last one.
Let's say it's Canada.
It's a Canadian ship. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and it's a hauler. It's like a transport ship. It's not a military ship or a science ship or anything fancy. It's just a transport ship, a hauler, cargo ship, basically. Okay, so you see a ship, and there is. I'm just putting tokens on the map. You're not on the ship, but I'm just putting tokens on the map.
Okay.
You realize that the only way that you could get onto it would be to attach your pod onto the airlock in the cargo bay. There. That's the only place that you could land.
Well, Miss Chang, it is time to earn your wage for the great nation of RxOliver.
So you're going to get her to navigate again. You're going to get her to do the flying this time.
Unless there's other volunteers.
Yeah, bear with me. I'm having trouble with navigating my tools. Don't know why. I've lost things off the bottom of my map. Bear with me. My viewers can
if
see me
they're
messing around with things.
If they're better at doing stuff than me, that's fine. Yeah, my piloting skills are just, I guess, really average. So
Navigator Chang will make the roll to try and. Ooh, she's rolled a 12. So, she's trying to control. She's trying to pilot the pod into the cargo airlock, and she's struggling, and she's sweating, and she's shaking, and you can see she's really struggling, and she's about to fail. If anybody would like to grab the controls off her, you could maybe save it by rolling a 13 or more. Otherwise, she's probably going to damage the pod.
I'll do it because I've got the highest pseudo eye after everyone else. But what do I need? A 13?
13.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Nope.
Ooh,
Got a
okay.
9.
So the pod will become damaged. So the airlock locks. The airlock locks, but it breaks as it locks, and the thrusters on the pod that you're in are broken, and you'll never fly it. It'll never fly again until it's fixed. So that pod, although you did get the airlock correct, and you can now board this ship, you're not going to fly that again unless you fix it.
It's a good job we've got a scientist to fix stuff then, right?
So you can make it to the airlock. Inside the ship, there is no gravity. No, there is gravity, sorry. Inside the ship, there is gravity, but no atmosphere and minimal power.
Okay, so no life support for me to turn off again.
There is a vacuum suit for each of you. There's 8 vacuum suits inside the pod, so you can all get a vac suit. So you've all got a space suit. That will provide you protection against the cold and 12 hours of oxygen.
Very well. Well, I have some first-hand experience with life support systems. For example, I suggest we actually go to the main bay and activate the life support, so that we may claim this vessel.
I mean, are we sure that this ship doesn't have anyone else on it? It's just like a vacant ship.
It feels empty. I mean, there's very minimal power. Like, lights are flickering. It's very cold, and there is gravity, so it's still powered. So you don't know. Maybe there's somebody still on it. It's still powered. The ship's still powered up. Although it's wrecked, it's got a massive hole all the way through it. Like one of these massive rocks has just basically ripped right through the middle of it.
I'm gonna ask the science geeks to do computer stuff and scan the ship, because that's what you guys are here for. I just do the muscle stuff.
Is there a way I can determine if there are other life forms on this ship with my scanner?
Yeah, science with your scanner.
Right, then I'm gonna do that. So, I got a 12 in science.
So you'll need to roll a 2. Okay, so...
Yeah, and I rolled an 8.
Your scanner, when you... So let's say you change the display to a life force scan. So it's like a... You know, the thing with the dots, like an alien with the dot moving.
Like an alien, yeah.
Yeah. So you move to that.
Loving that.
You move to that, and there is the green that would normally be... The little green white dot that would normally be the sign of life. The whole screen is that colour. Like, it's like an error. It's like it's basically the whole screen is the colour of what it would show a life force. And it's kind of flickering, and your screen on your thing actually kind of, like, flickers on and off a little bit, like something's interfering with it.
I knew it. There was already an issue with my scanner earlier, but now I'm sure of it. I need to get this repaired as soon as possible.
Now, you do notice, lying in a corner of the cargo hold, a dead body. Somebody not wearing a spacesuit, so obviously they were, walking around the ship when it was actually active and had life support. And they have... So there's a body, the head's like twisted round like 90 degrees, so the neck's broken, and there's no arm. And where there's no arm, there's just like a massive like burst wound, like the arm's been ripped off basically.
Does he still have a gun?
Good question. No. Nah. It's not a military ship. You wouldn't expect this person to be a soldier of any type. This person just seems to be... In fact, let's say they're wearing a uniform of some Canadian company, and it's just a company, a mining company or something. So maybe this is...
Right.
Ship was maybe just transporting mining ore or something like that. So it's very unlikely that anyone apart from maybe the captain would have a weapon on a ship like this. Captain and maybe a security officer, like Erica is a security officer for your ship. There's maybe would be a security officer might have a gun, but you wouldn't expect lots of guns to be on a ship like this.
Alright, that's disappointing.
Now, but his arm's been ripped off, right? That's not like he just banged into something. So
it's... Give me a science roll.
Oh, I can't do that. I'm more talking to the group. I'm like, hey, science geeks, do you wanna medicine this guy.
Well, actually, because you're military, give me a close combat roll.
Oh, sweet. I can
You're not
do
attacking
that.
something, but knowledge of close
Yeah,
combat.
well, I want to see if it's. I mean, I presume in this world they have aliens and stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'd know. Yeah, because I'm wondering if it's a creature or if it's something else. So, close combat, is it called?
Is it something you've killed before?
We can kill it.
You would believe we can kill it. Yes.
Oh, yeah, close combat. I got 17.
Looks like the arms exploded.
Like from being hit by a bullet or like.
No, like from holding a grenade under your underarm and letting it go off.
Okay.
No, yeah, like
Well,
putting a grenade in there and letting it go off. Basically, that's what it looks like. The
Oh,
arms
so they did have
exploded.
grenades.
I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, guys, this funny thing happened at space camp where my friend Todd put a grenade under his arm and then he blew his arm off.
That's typical Todd behavior.
Yeah, he didn't do very well after that. Now he's a cyborg and he's very happy and has a wife and 7 kids.
Oh, that's really funny that you're an amputee as well, Erica. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, he is, but he's very happy about it. He's happy
Well,
about
then
it.
what's this? And then I proceed to pull off your prosthetic arm.
You're just giving me. It's not improv, dude. You can't just tell me I have stuff and I have to accept it.
So, I think about the ship map. You notice the ship map, it's actually labelled, and you can see power core, engine room, cargo airlock, cargo hold, spare bunks, everything. This is, because you're familiar with, it's a very generic ship layout, so you would all know this much about the ship. Without ever having been on the ship, you're going to know roughly where things are. It's a very generic model of ship. That's why I'll give you a labelled map.
We are close to either the storage area or the power core and engine room. I'd say we either look for supplies or fire up this beauty. I'm certain that you, Rudy, could get this ship fired up, right?
Now, Rudy would know, as the engineer, that the ship wouldn't be fired up from the engine room or the power core. The ship would be fired up from the bridge. If the ship is powered, then you just need to go to the bridge to do things. And the ship, as you can tell, you can see is powered because it's got gravity and some lights.
Yeah,
The
but
ship
there's
is
flickering
powered.
light and everything, right?
There's
So there might be
flickering lights,
something in the
yes.
engine room.
We're in the upside down.
We're in the upside down.
Now, your NPC, Boers and Chang, oh shit, they're both like, you know, the bridge is this way. Let's go check out the bridge first, and they start walking off this way.
Who put you in charge?
Do we have personal comms?
Nope.
Or is that...
We left them behind.
You left it behind. You had a chance to grab one thing and you didn't take it.
Oh, there's just like whether or not we had like short range comms between like our... That's fine.
I would say no. So right
Fuck's sake, Martin, when you grab the comms...
within your vac suit
Oh,
chest.
God.
So you don't have ship to surface, or you can't communicate with anyone other than each other. I'll say you've got in helmet comms to just each other, the 6 of you.
Aye. Just makes it handier that if they fuck off to the bridge, I'll be like, right, well, I'll go to the engine room and you tell me if anything's
Actually,
fucked.
no. Because
No.
because I don't want you to be able to split up easily. Yeah, there is no comms. You have no comms. I'm gonna be strict with that. There is no comms. Yeah, I don't want you to be able to communicate if you split up. You're not communicating if you split up.
Fucking rip! All of a sudden, a mic monster jumps in their helmet and eats all of our comms.
Aye.
Oh fuck!
I mean, my scanner doesn't work to scan for life forms, so there might be interference.
Yeah, let's just say the comms are not working. The comms don't work in your spacesuits.
Yeah.
Comms don't work, just like some people I know in life.
Well,
Um,
as I said, I call out these people and I'm like, well, who put you in charge? And I'm trying to convince them to stay with us. Camille is clearly trying to establish herself as the new designated leader after our previous captain probably fell with the ship.
Yeah,
Just
your captain
laughing at you, 'cause Erica has the gun and she's like, this makes me the boss, so you guys need to shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm gonna roll a charisma for this.
Rudy pulls out his gun and touches Erica's tip with his tip, and they go tip to tip.
It's what, pistol fight?
This have a wee pistol war.
Oh, it's a 2 plus 10, so I rolled a 12.
What do I roll for gun intimidation? It's like,
Gunadation.
You try to intimidate-
Are you just gonna slap someone with
You
your
try to
pistol?
intimidate somebody.
No, I'm
I'm
trying
just-
to establish me as the leader of this party and tell them not to go to the bridge.
Roll charisma then.
Yeah, I just did. I rolled a 2 plus 10, so it's a 12.
That's a fail. 13 is a success,
Yeah, it's a
I'm
fail.
afraid.
They
So
aren't listening to me.
So they do not listen to you and they wander off. And you hear a scream.
I'll be
I give
honest.
him I'm gonna give him a
He's a
slow
better
clap.
guy.
I'm like, well done, new leader. That went well.
Well, it isn't my fault that we hire such nitwits.
Rudy, as you head off that way,
To the bridge.
you hear a scream from one of these rooms. And it's a female scream. You hear Chang scream. Oops.
Why did she go into the fucking bedroom when she said she was gonna she's trying to get her hole? Fucking dirty bitch.
And as you see, and as you turn the corner, you see Chang's arm explode. It just goes boom, explodes. Chang's arm explodes. Chang's slammed up against the wall. Arm explodes. Bear with me a second. I need to find a description here.
It's the exorcist.
As I enter the room, I hold my pistol out, and I say, I'm armed and dangerous," because it needed that.
So,
Who do you call him? James Bond-esque cheese.
so she's actually
Now
dead.
that his arm is no longer.
She's actually dead, Chang.
See, now it's not
Oh.
funny. It was funny, but now it's like, oh. that's
What a
not-
waste of valuable medicine.
Whoever's
joke.
there, stay still. I'm armed and dangerous. Oh shit, Chang's dead.
And I've got to roll a d12.
And I'll not say the pun that I'm thinking of for that.
And another one. Okay. Now, you see where Chang's arm blew off. You see the flesh kind of still moving, and like the stump of the bone just it's kind of wriggling around. It's a little weird.
Oh no, we're in the thing.
And the other person is alive, right? We've only seen one of them die.
Yeah, Boers went in this room and he seems to be okay. Boers comes running out. Chang! What the fuck, Chang?
Stay back. Let Rudy handle this. Shoot it, Rudy.
Whoa, what happened, Chang? What happened? And Chang's dead. Chang can't answer.
I'm afraid Chang's no longer with us. Go ahead, Rudy. Shoot that thing. Shoot the arm.
The arms fucking moving. Right. Well,
The stump
Aye.
seems to be moving. There's like the tissue. There's the blood's bubbling and boiling. The bones wriggling around. Something's going on with where the arm blew off.
alright then. Get fucking shot. How do I shoot?
Just roll for your gun. It's
Pistol?
yeah, pistol.
Pistol?
Yeah.
Damage?
Yeah. No, not damage. Roll for pistol first.
Range? Is it ranged combat?
Yeah, ranged combat. Roll ranged combat, and if you hit, yep, that's a hit. Now you roll damage. Nine, and I roll 1d4, and this is what the vac suit soaks up. So you do 7 damage. Okay. I'm gonna note on that Chang is on -7. And are you shooting into the hole, into the stump where the arm was?
I'm sure I'm just shooting at the fucking stump. Or the Is the arm moving? What's moving?
The arm blew up. The arm exploded. The arm's all over the wall like red paint. But what's moving is muscle tissue and bone and blood and shit inside the stump, inside the hole.
But he's maybe alive then, right? Because
No, she's dead.
body.
She's clearly dead.
No longer.
Yeah, she's clearly dead.
Okay. I'm going for another medicine. Someone needs to do medicine stuff on this person.
Well, yeah, I'll be aiming at the part that's moving. I'm not just going to aim at the rest of the body and desecrate it.
So you shoot her in the
Unless
shoulder
I've got
stump.
like a fucking minigun style pistol that fires 1,000 rounds, then I'll just fuck the body
So
up.
you pump some shots into the stump, right? Martin, roll medicine.
Oh, my medicine.
As you're looking at the
my-
body.
Okay.
Oh, that's a critical success, mate. You rolled the maximum there. So you have seen something about this before. You've never seen it before, but you maybe read it in a book or saw it in a movie. And it's like when a host gets infected by a parasite. That's what that looked like.
Okay, but like, it's a Canadian parasite. Everyone back away.
And all of a
They're very
sudden,
lethal.
all of a sudden, you hear a bang, and the ship kind of rocks a little bit. The lights flicker off for a second, but then they come back on.
Yeah, I'm backing up. I'm like, infected. I think we should back up.
I'm
guys.
trying to scan our suits. Is this parasite in our suits? Because we picked these suits up when we entered, right?
Okay, what kind of scan are you doing?
I'd say a science. Use my hand scanner to see if there's any contamination on our suits.
Yeah, so you're doing a contamination scan on your suits. Go for it. Roll science. And it's +1 with the scanner.
Yep. There we go.
Whatever infected
That's 14.
Chang does not seem to have affected any of the three of you.
And what about the others? Because there's still 2 NPCs with us, right?
One. The other one's dead.
Nope. Neither of them seem to be infected.
Alright. I'd say we do hurdle together like I was trying to establish earlier, so we don't suffer the same fate as Chang.
I say that we go to the bridge and get the fuck out of here, because the escape pod's not a viable escape. But if anyone splits up and you die from what's now going to be known as arm disease, then it's your fault. And then I go to the bridge.
You're heading to the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm like, wait,
Parasitic.
I saw a film about this, and I don't think
Stop
you're
there.
supposed to take ships. I don't think you're supposed to take ships if you're infected on a ship.
Stop there, Chris. I need to roll some random rolls
Parasitic
first.
handicapism.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. So this is the canteen. That's the bridge. That's the lounge. And this is the medical. So I've got... Okay.
Okay.
So you move to there. Now, as you move past here, you see another 2 dead bodies. One of them with no head, and it looks like the neck has exploded. And one of them, in fact, it's not even a body. There is 2 arms and 2 legs. 1 arm over there, 1 arm over there, 1 leg over there, and 1 leg over there. As if a torso has exploded and sent the limbs flying to the 4 fucking winds, basically, and splattered a body up across this corridor.
Really is deep space.
And you notice it's
Dead space, I mean.
although there is power in the ship and there's light and there's gravity, it's very cold. You know, even through your vac suit, you can feel how cold it is. Now, your vac suit will protect you from that cold for 12 hours, but 12 hours only. That's a deadly cold.
Like-
It's the cold of space. It's deadly.
And Rudy, you're an engineer, right? Can't you like hack into the like cameras so we can see if there's, you know?
To the bridge.
That's why it's going to the
You not
bridge,
do it from like. I thought you could maybe do it from like a. I don't know.
That's
a
why I'm going to
computer
the
on
bridge.
wall.
Nope.
Okay.
Everything's in the bridge.
Okay.
Right. Do all the others follow? Because
Yes. The others follow.
The face said everything.
Yes, the others are following.
I love you, Erica. It's okay. You don't need to tell everyone in the office about our late night romances. It's okay.
It's fine. You made part of my body explode, but I don't want to say which one it was.
It was her ovaries.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just the one, because I'm a lady.
Okay, so you see a canteen, you see a lounge, you see medical, and you see the bridge. Now again, there are bodies scattered all over this room and bodies scattered all over this room. Some of them seem to just be dead from the impact from when the ship was rocking about, and you know, when it's got pulled out of whatever it was, whatever path it was, when it got pulled out like you did and it got rattled all over the place. Obviously, some people have just died from like flying around the ship. But you also see another couple of bodies where a limb has exploded. You see one where there's no head. There's a torso with a neck exploding. There's just like a... So I've got leaning up against the wall, like sitting down. It's like an environmental storytelling skeleton in Fallout. There's a body sitting up against the wall, and it's got no head, but then there's just like a big 45-degree red blood splatter up the wall. So it's quite clear that head has just exploded.
I can't use my hand scanner for this, but I'm trying to remember if I learned about something like this in my studies.
Roll science.
Science? Alright. It's 15.
No.
16.
Nah, you rack your memories. You go through all your studies and nothing comes to mind. No. I mean, you know what an explosion looks like. You think that these people have had their body parts explode, but you're not sure how their body parts exploded. You don't know how that's happened. This is not something you've studied. It's not something that's come up in your studies. Combustion of people's limbs.
Fascinating. I think we discovered something new, which might benefit our great
It would
nation.
benefit the great nation if you were to make a
If we were to
scientific discovery.
weaponize this thing, we could finally destroy the greater Kazakhstani empire.
Well, all I know is that if I see a cat, I'm taking it with me, because that usually solves problems if we see one cat on the ship.
So we do see like a body of that's been exploded, right?
Mm-hmm. Several.
Can if the parasite, which I checked this for, is still present in those bodies?
There's no movement. In fact, this one, there's no fresh blood. It's all dry.
Okay.
And this one's, you know, it's the body's quite desiccated and shriveled, so it's not a fresh wound. And no, there's nothing moving in the wound.
All right.
No, it's all old and. But they don't. People don't decay the same out in space. It's different. The decay on a body is very different. It's very slow, very slow. Because there's no elements out here. Just the cold. There's no oxygen. The skin doesn't. You know, materials don't oxidize the same. It doesn't have the same reaction.
Yeah.
You just don't. I'm not a scientist, but you don't. Your body doesn't decompose. That's the word. Decompose the same in space. Let's just make it up. It gets really, in fact, it gets emaciated, but the joints get bloated, so they've got really bloated knees and elbows and wrists. So they've got really thin arms, but then chunky wrists. And their face is like a really weird shape because their cheekbones are really in, but then they've got big lumps on their jaw or something. I don't know, I'm making this up. But they decompose different in space, and it's quite clear that this body has been here for a while and has been decomposing in space.
Right, so no present bacteria.
No
But
present
shouldn't we be
bacteria.
worried that these things don't need oxygen and stuff? Because we've got the suits on for oxygen, right? And these things are like moving a little bit, and they don't need oxygen. And it's
Here's a
worrying.
question: are you moving quietly through the ship or just normally?
I'm doing it quietly, obviously.
Okay, so from now on, if you are moving quietly, I'll get you to roll subterfuge rolls when you move through the ship.
Well-
I'm not moving quietly. I'm just
I'm just following Rudy.
and just fucking marching forward to the bridge.
You move-
There's nothing to fear but fear
Are
itself.
you moving on to the bridge, are you?
I didn't get my degree
I'm
being
trying
sneaky.
to. I know that there's fucking weird shit going on, but I've just had to shoot a fucking woman's fucking nub. So, you know.
Okay, now, as you move past, so you're heading to the bridge, yeah?
Yeah.
As you move past here, I want you all to make a perception roll. Perception is an additional skill that it's been added to your sheets. You never had this last time you played.
Perception. There we go.
We can all do it, right?
Yep.
It's a
I
10.
want you all to make one, and I'll do the NPCs.
Open my
Got
sheet.
17.
Perception. There we go.
So everybody got 13 or more. You see.
No, I've got a 10.
So everybody who got a 13 or more, you see, as you move past here, the doors are open. You see in this room, which is medical, you see floating around, but like moving in different directions. You see floating around one of these rocks. It's like a weird rock. But then Martin with a 17, it's not a rock, because it's different parts of it are moving independently. In fact, it's almost as if it's got tentacles. You see like it looks like a rock at first, but as you look closer, you see that there are 5 maybe tentacles moving around, and you see this thing move over to one of the medical equipments, and it attaches itself to the medical equipment. You see it now for sure. You can see it has got 5 tentacles because it wraps itself round this piece of medical. And I'm talking about like a machine, like an X-ray scanner or something. When I talk about like an autodock or something like that, and it just wraps itself round the autodock, and it's just like holding on to it, and it hasn't noticed you now.
Sneaking past that thing, I ain't gonna go in there.
So roll subterfuge now then, if you're deciding to move quietly.
Surely
I haven't seen the thing.
the bridge is the other side.
The bridge is this side, so you're not going that way.
Oh, we're not going that way. So you don't need to roll substrated.
Subbing. Yeah.
Okay, so you may walk into the bridge then. You can make it to the bridge.
I got a 13.
You got a 13 on a subterfuge, so you are moving quietly then.
Yeah, I want to go first because I know these friggin' nerds are gonna be like talking about shit, so I want to try and sneak in first.
Okay.
I've got my pistol drawn. I'm fucking ready. I've already killed an arm socket.
I mean, I've got this massive gun, but I mean, yeah.
Massive gun. You've got a pistol.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's got a
No,
rifle.
I got a rifle.
All right. Okay. Well then.
Mine's like a lot. Mine's like.
So you're moving to the medical, or aren't you?
Nope, he's
No,
going
I'm
to the bridge.
going to the bridge.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
just in
I'm going to the bridge.
I'm gonna read you something when you get to the bridge. There's bodies all over the bridge. There's a body slumped over a computer in a full suit, and the head appears to have erupted. The hand is over a button, as if they were about to transmit a last desperate message. In fact, you can see there's a transmit button and there's a play button. Now, the finger's like right over transmit. All you would have to do to hear what he was trying to transmit is just press the play button right next to it.
But can we listen to it before we send it, or do we have to like send it and then we hear it?
No, you can listen. There's a play button and there's a transmit button, so you can play it to just listen to it, and you can transmit it.
Can I immediately?
For the same time.
Can I immediately stop it in case it starts saying some Cthulhu shit? Like pause it?
Yeah,
Or
there's
is
a
it
pause.
still-
Yeah, let's say there's a pause button right next to play.
Just
Yeah,
because I'm like, if it starts saying,
yeah.
okay, I'm
I
gonna let
immediately press play.
Okay.
I was gonna say I was gonna let one of you guys do it.
So you hear recorded
Halima.
in a male voice. This is the captain of the Idaho. We were hit by rocks, but they're not rocks. They're monsters. They were hidden in the dust, and they forced their way in and attacked anything that generated powers, the engines, the power couplings, the generators, and medical, even Lance's laser pistol. They just latch on and suck the energy to make more of themselves, and they're crawling in the engine room. It's full of them. Look, they hate the cold and they hate disinfectant, but we can't get into the engine room. We're trapped in this fucking tin can. Don't use anything that generates power. I repeat, don't. And the sound that follows is like an egg cracking open, shattering glass followed by a screech.
Wait, so, did you all hear that? So we need to ship up and clean the entire place. So get all your Dettol out and some wipes. Gonna scrub this place down, boys.
Is there...
Nunu was in here before. I seen it.
Is there a climate control inside of the wherever we are, the bridge?
Yeah, bridge has the climate control. The bridge has all the controls for everything.
Is there a way for me to determine from the bridge's climate control to see if there's any breach where the space cold comes in?
I mean, there's a hole right through the middle of the ship. Right through the middle of the
so
ship. There's a massive hole
even
right
if I
through the
were
middle of the
to
ship.
redirect power and heat up the place, it wouldn't be enough to kill those things.
Right. It said in the message, it said they hate the cold and disinfectants.
Oh, they hate the cold.
They hate the cold.
Oh, I thought they love the cold. Never mind. Disinfectants.
So-
Well, we should go to medical then in that case.
I'm like, no. I'll tell
Why
them about
not?
the because it's got this thing that the captain on the thing. He's got tentacle rock things.
Oh, but we can
Yeah,
gather
one
a
of them's in
fresh
there.
sample then in that case.
Oh, away you go, Camille. I didn't like you anyway. See you there, mate. Bye.
No. I'll stay with you. I'll stay here. I'm not going out there unarmed.
Unarmed on your own. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good idea.
Oh,
So
Rudy, you can look at the cameras now, right, Rudy? Because you can look at things.
yes, can
Yes,
I
you can see the camera
quickly
feed.
scan the cams to see if there's any untoward movement throughout the ship that I would be aware of?
Yeah, you are unfamiliar with the controls though, so it's a science roll to be able to work out how to do it.
I can explain it to him.
You can get
You
a plus one.
mansplain something to
you
me,
can get-
you'll
you can
get
get a
punched
plus-
in the fucking face.
You get a +1 from assist from Camille explaining it.
Right.
Or trying to
I'm
help
going
you.
to woman-splain you.
Well, and that's a 13. So, you find the button that shows you the camera feed. Now, many of the cameras are not working, some of them are. And you can see on a couple of the cameras in a couple of the rooms of the ship. In fact, let's pick a couple at random, right? You can see in the storage room a couple of these things just kind of floating around. And you can see in the spare bunks a couple of them floating around. Now in the engine room, the camera seems to be obscured. Like something's completely covering the camera. But as you look just intensely for a minute, you realise that whatever it's covering, it's not quite still. Something's moving. And then just for a moment, it's like something moves away from the camera, and for a split second, all you see is fucking loads and loads and loads of tentacles. And then something goes back over the camera and you don't see anything again. And I need the bathroom, so I think we're going to take a 5-minute break, guys. Let's do that.
Sweet.
See you soon, Twitch. And we're back for part 2, Tin Can Idaho Deep Space. So, you saw what you saw, Chris. You gonna tell the guys?
Yeah, I told them.
In fact, anybody who's standing over the thing with you will see it, because you're seeing a camera feed.
I would imagine that the camera feed, like, let's say it's Star Trek-esque, so it's like and I like ping it up on
Yeah, cool. I love it.
the main part of the bridge, and I'm like searching, and then
It is Star Trek.
enhance.
It's retro future, so it's Star
Enhance.
Trek. Enhance. It's alien. It's that kind of retro future. It's what the future looked like in the 70s, basically.
Some best future.
Oh God, I've never felt a better reason to be like, enhance.
Enhance. That's fucking brilliant, man. I love it. So you see the camera feed. You see these things floating about the ship. You see one. You see the one that's attached to the thing in the med bay, but also you can see in the med bay there is quite a lot of equipment in the med bay. In fact, all roll perception. Everybody who's looking at the camera feed, roll perception.
Yeah. Alrighty. For some reason, sometimes the stat rolls appear on the top, and sometimes they're gone.
Click your token, and they'll appear at the top.
Oh, okay. I always roll directly from the sheet, so I'm.
Click your token. And they're all
Okay,
at the
and
top.
it's a perception, right?
Perception.
There we go.
That's a big fail for you, Chris. So Camille, you notice that in the medical room there appears to be a crate full of liquid nitrogen canisters.
Alright. I immediately look up the ceiling of the bridge. Is there like an internal system that sprinkles water in case of localized fires?
Good question.
I think you could check. You could probably check the computers.
I wouldn't say
to
it'd
see
be
that.
water. I would say it'd be something more advanced than water. We're talking
But something that
like-
emits something
yeah,
when
like
there's a
like
fire.
powder, like fire extinguishers do
Yeah.
a powder, like that kind of powder, because it's for electrical fires. You don't want water because it's electrical and shit. So it's like a powder
Yeah.
sprays out. Yes,
So these ships are pretty standard, right?
this is a standard
Where-
cargo ship.
Is
Pretty
the part of the ship that you could like insert the power into the system?
What do you mean insert power into the system? It has a
Yeah,
power
as in-
core.
No, is it the powder? The powder against
powder.
flames.
Ooh,
Yeah,
right. That would be. That's a good question. So those systems, I guess, would be somewhere in the engine room.
All right, listen up, folks. I have a perfect plan. There appears to be disinfectant in the medical bay.
No, liquid
No.
nitrogen, I said.
Liquid nitrogen. Oh, because
But also, you would guess there probably also is disinfectant in the medical bay because it's
Yeah.
a medical bay.
now the recording says these things hate disinfectant. If we were to insert this into the fire extinguishing system, then we could spray the entire ship, purging it of these things.
So you want to fill the fire extinguisher system with disinfectant.
Exactly.
Alright, I like it.
I'm looking at the engineer. Is that feasible?
Well, first it's probably going to have to fire out everything that it's already filled with first, and then we're going to have to try and
You have to flush the
Um,
system first,
use
yeah.
the. So
Well, why
that
won't we
might
do
take
that?
some time. Well, in theory it'll work, but it depends on how pressurized it'll be. And like, for example, if the disinfectant is maybe in unpressurized bottles and we attach it to a pressurized system, then the disinfectant's just going to go all over us rather than. But
The glaring problem.
it's
The glaring problem
I-
with this
I
plan.
like it.
The glaring problem with the plan is the system that you would put the disinfectant in somewhere in the engine room. In the engine room, it appears is absolutely full of these things. They're
Exactly.
attracted to power.
But they are attracted to power, so if we redirect power to a certain area, we can try to get them away out of the
I mean,
engine
so if you
room.
were to switch off the engine, that might disperse them from that room, and they might go looking for other power sources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, like us.
Can't you like pump it into the med bay and then get them to all go there?
Where the disinfectant is and the
That might also
Nature's
work, but an
oxide.
entire system purge of the entire ship would be the most thorough way of cleaning the ship.
I mean, there's nowhere else that's away from us, right? Unless you pump it into the bunks room.
So
But
the sprinkler system that would put out fires, there'll be nozzles and hoses all over the ship. So you'll be able to just purge the whole ship if you want. You would be able to do that.
Exactly.
But the place where you would plug it in is in the engine room, and that's where all the creatures are.
Yeah. So either we
Yeah.
use someone as a distraction, or we redirect the power, luring the creatures out of the engine room.
Well volunteered, Camille.
Oh, no. I need to oversee this process. It's my idea, obviously.
Oh, of course you do. Yeah, always the dictator, never the executioner. Yeah, okay, sweet.
No, I'm the problem solver.
All right, okay. I knew we should have left you in the airlock.
Now,
I mean,
Well-
I'm here with the gun to make sure you guys don't get killed, so that's my job.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, you're the hero who nobly sacrifices himself at the end
as
of
you're
the movie.
fighting and
I get it.
arguing, one of the creatures. Give me a second. I need to pull it up from somewhere else on the map.
I was being super perceptive while I was also bitching, though. Like, I was looking around.
As you're screaming and
Perceptive
fighting,
bitch.
Boors, Boors,
Perceptive.
the engineer goes, "Fuck!" And you turn and there's one behind him, and it's coming for him, and we can roll initiative and have a wee fight.
Yeah.
So initiative. Let's pull up a turn order.
Here,
There we go.
Camille's gonna be punching this thing.
You all have a
No,
initiative
I'm just
buttons.
gonna stay in the back.
So, do we have initiative? We have
You
initiative.
have an
for
initiative
this,
button,
right?
yes. It won't automatically go to the initiative thing, but I can
Uh-huh.
I can add it manually. So
This time-
everybody roll their initiative.
This time, Chris,
I'll roll.
I'm gonna be like happy and just do whatever during combat.
Well, I got 19.
Happy's the best in combat.
Happy doesn't do anything in combat. Half the time he hides.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just pulling up a creature's character sheet. Bear with me.
I'll pull up your character sheet in a minute. That would be a fun game that we should do someday. We should just all make character sheets for each other.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
a great game.
And then have an entire session of discussing
forced to
why we
play
hate
the
each
horrible
other
game.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
used to
it's
play a
like,
horrible
Sounds-
character.
because so you give someone a low charisma score and they're like, "You're a cunt. You're actually a cunt. Like, why do you think I got low charisma?"
Oh, you want us to make it based off our actual abilities?
Yeah.
So on D&D rolls, you'd have like a 4 intelligence, but like a 20 strength.
Yeah.
I'd make an
Yeah.
obese.
And our levels are like our age. Our levels are like our age.
Right.
Sweet.
What did everybody roll for initiative? Rudy got an 18.
I got a 19.
I got a 14 or a 12. For some reason, two things have been rolled in my.
Oh, it was a 12 because you rolled before that.
Oh yeah,
you rolled
it's,
the
it's
14
a 12. Yeah,
before.
exactly. it's a 12.
Erica, what did Erica roll? 19.
Yeah.
Who do I not have on the turn order? Chris's character. Is that you there? Yes. And you got the 18. Okay, Erica.
Great.
No,
Get my
she's
gun out.
Eric.
I mean, she she wants to fit in with the boys. This game, how can I move? Like, is there like a limit?
Yeah, so you can
Um,
move up to 6 squares. I don't have squares on the map, but
Oh no, yeah, I can guesstimate.
about 6 of you.
Yeah, so I've
Or
probably
did
got
we
a
do
bit
12
more.
last time? I can't remember if it was 6 or 12. I think we did 12 because it's a D12 system.
Okay.
So you can move 60
Okay.
feet, which is, 60 feet, 12 5-foot squares. So just basically 12 times the token. So like
Oh, well
to
then,
there,
I
basically.
I kind of want to get here because I've got a tiny bit of. Who's this one here? Like the one in between.
That
The...
is the engineer, and that is the
Oh.
medic. 2 NPCs.
Oh well, they're just being silly, aren't they? Just randomly being there. Okay, then I'm gonna obviously stand out, so I guess I'm there, and then
Yep.
fire at the fire. Oh no, shit! What did they? They said it likes energy, but I'm firing a rifle. I'm not firing like a pulse weapon, so I'm gonna risk it, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's a pulse rifle, but
Oh,
it's explosive bursts of laser energy. It's gonna damage it. You know, well.
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you
I
don't,
was-
you don't know that for a fact, but you would
Well, I'm
guess
gonna
it's
have
gonna
to-
damage it.
I'm gonna try it because otherwise we're all gonna be screwed if it doesn't. So ranged combat, right? And then
Yep.
I click the other one, right?
Range
Okay.
combat, 13 to hit.
17.
You may roll
and
damage.
then- which is my blaster rifle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damage blaster rifle.
And
Okay.
you get good damage on that, I think.
I've got 10. That seems good.
Okay, so I mean, it's not easy to tell how hurt the thing is.
Mhm.
Give me a science roll, and if you succeed, I'll give you an idea of how hurt it is, I suppose.
Okay. Science.
Yeah,
Oh,
you-
for some reason it did a 10 and a 15. I don't know
Although
why it did that.
its anatomy is very unfamiliar, you feel like you certainly blew a chunk out of it. It doesn't make any sound, and there's no blood comes out of it. But it gets knocked back. It reels back and pauses before it starts coming forward again.
And is there like exactly where I'm? Is there like a door I can close there?
Yeah,
Like, is there
there's a
like
door you can
button?
close there.
Well, I might like. I mean,
There's
can I
still a crew
call?
member in the other corridor.
I know. That's what I was going to ask. Was like, can you like run in, or does he have to wait till his turn? Because I'm
Yeah.
like,
It would have to be his turn.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to close the door. It's his fault. He should have come in the room. So I'm
You're
closing the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a closed door there, right? Okay.
What are you doing?
Rudy,
I
it's your
mean,
turn.
he's an NPC. It's fine.
He's a crew member.
Was a crew member.
Rudy's turn. What are you doing, Rudy?
I'm going to. Can I see the thing that's trying to attack him?
Door's been
Nah,
closed.
because you're there. So you can't quite see it.
And the door's been shut. So
And
I
that
wouldn't
door is
be able
shut,
to
so you
if
wouldn't
I
see
move
it.
forward.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it even if you moved.
Oh, well, no offense, Erica, but that was an absolute waste of a fucking turn. Because like, well, I can do nothing there. Well, what can I do? Right. I'm gonna go back to the bridge and cut off all oxygen into that room
Into that room,
where the fucking.
you don't have oxygen support. There's gravity, but no oxygen.
So I can turn off.
Again, you're ready in action in this game.
Yeah, sure.
So
you can open the door and fire at it, but I was like, I thought it might be a good idea to stop this thing trying to get in the room.
right. Well, I'll go and turn off the gravity. Why not? Turn off the
So
gravity.
you're
and
heading
that
back
way.
to the console on the bridge, and you want to turn off the gravity in this room here where Boris and the creature are.
Yeah.
Okay. Boris goes flying up against the ceiling, and he's going to take 1d4 damage.
Good.
Boris takes 4
Good.
damage. Fuck! What are you doing, man? Ah!
We can't hear him because I closed the door and you said we didn't have comms, so we can't.
Yeah,
hear
you
him,
don't
right?
have comms.
Yeah. exactly.
Screaming to
No
himself.
one can hear you screaming.
In space, no one can hear.
Now
someone
it's
scream.
his turn. He is going to be floating around, kind of useless, but he's gonna. Have I given them guns? I haven't even given them guns. They don't even have guns.
I will say this much, not to be a dick, but that's not how gravity works when you turn it off.
No, the ship is
You'll-
moving. The thing is, although the ship feels like it's static, it will be moving. It's going to be drifting
Yeah,
in
so
some
it'll be-
direction.
it'll
So
be
when the
thrown
gravity turns off, he'll
towards
drift in
the
the
wall.
opposite. He'll drift in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
hit a wall.
yeah.
Yeah. So if he hit the ceiling, then the ship was moving down the way. He's just moving in the opposite direction from the ship.
I want Chris to show us how gravity works with some random toys.
He's going to attempt to make an agility roll to try and right himself so that he can scramble over this door, but he fails his agility roll and he just flaps around with no gravity for a while. He's just doing this. And that's his turn. Now it's Niles the medic. He's just going to go, shit,
I'm
shit,
watching it, yeah.
shit, and he just backs up over here, and he's just wastes his turn panicking. Now the creature is going to attack Boers. The creature does not seem to be affected by the no gravity. The creature seems to float in any direction it wants. The creature seems to move in no gravity somehow. So the creature's now going to attack
Because it has internal propulsion engines that are designed to navigate space.
Exactly. It's a space bug, isn't it? A parasite, isn't it?
Yep. It's a fake meteor.
Fake meteor.
It's a meteor, right? Ha 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 ha.
Right, so that's 14 damage, but I need to do... So, when it hits, I've got to roll a 1d... Alright, okay. So I've also got to roll a 1d12, and this is the body part that it hits. 5 is the left leg. And he gets to make a strength roll with a target 13 to save. Ooh, his arm will not explode, but he's still going to take the 15 damage. And he's looking very, 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 very hurt. Camille, it's your turn.
Well, I look back into the bridge. You know that there's the corpse of the captain was laying on the console, right?
Yep.
Did he have a holster?
Yeah, he did.
I immediately run towards the corpse and I try to remove the pistol from the holster.
You can grab his gun. That'd be the end of your turn, but you can grab his gun.
Yeah, so I've got a gun again.
Erica, it comes back around to you. You have a closed door between you, Engineer Boers, and the creature.
Well, I mean, am I going to know what's going to happen if I open the door and we've got gravity, but they've not? What happens with gravity in doors?
2 seconds, because I thought I had...
If you put the monster's not done anything, right?
Do you see that?
Yeah.
You can see the creature, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That gives you an idea what they look like. It's just a mass of writhing tentacles, basically. It looked like a stone when it was just kind of floating still, but once it's active, the tentacles come out. So you get an idea of what it looks like. Right, sorry, what did you say you were doing, Erica? I was too busy with that.
No, I was just saying, would I know if I want to shoot it and then close the door again, but the gravity's off in that room and we have gravity in this room, will that make something weird happen?
No, because the gravity is per room, and the door won't make an effect. Don't ask me.
Oh, okay.
It's science fiction, remember, not science fact.
Oh, I know, but I was like...
So yeah, this room has gravity. This one doesn't. But even if you open the door, they will stay the same because it's science fiction and not science fact.
I didn't know if you'd get the bends or something. I don't know.
Oh, probably.
Okay.
I am not Gene Roddenberry or fucking John Hicks, so I don't know.
I'm happy with that.
It's just the rule of cool.
Rule of cool, mate. Rule of cool when I'm playing. I'm no Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm just gonna click the button quickly.
Open the door, shoot, and then close the door again.
Yeah.
Closing the door would be an extra action. I would say you're only going to be able to open the door and shoot, and somebody else would have to close the door.
Okay. Okay, but I can move away. Yeah, I might have to move the door. I mean, my little friend can probably close the door. He was maybe dead. Yeah.
So you're going to open the door, shoot, and then move away?
Yeah, because I don't want this thing attacking me either.
Right.
So I'm gonna.
You hit the button on the door. Door opens.
And then I get a 18.
That's a hit. You may roll damage.
And then the damage is 12. I mean, it's taken a lot of damage, right? I can't even remember how much damage I've done to it, but a lot.
Enough?
Over the last 2. Oh, enough to kill it. Yeah.
The thing drops, so it's obviously whatever anti-gravity it had built in. As soon as it dies, it fails. The tentacles wrap back around it, like when a spider dies and its legs curl around it. The tentacles wrap back around it, and it looks like a rock again. And it just sits on the floor. It's dead.
Yeah.
Boers is like, ah! Ah! Floating around in no gravity.
I'll be like, well, you should have come in the main room instead of loitering outside, and I'll pull him in if I can reach him.
Yeah, you can grab him. Your arm reaches through to where there's no gravity, and it starts floating around, but you grab him.
It comes off,
and you pull him back into the gravity. So you
Okay.
can
And
pull him back in.
it's like medic. There you go. That's my job done.
Okay, the medic is going to run over and he's going to attempt to do some medicine. He gets a +1 on this. So that's a success. Two hit points back. Tom gets 2 hit points back.
That
not
thing
Tom,
comes from
sorry,
medical.
yours.
Good for him.
There might be medkits there we can use to help
When you
poor
saw the
old
med
Bruce.
bay, it did seem to be a well-equipped med bay. Although that thing was hugging like a life support machine, say like an autodoc, you know, like an alien. They put you in a thing, it
Yeah.
goes to the thing, and then it scans you and it does all the things. There's like an autodoc, and that thing was hugging the autodoc. But there's also an X-ray machine. There's an ultrasound. There's life support systems. There's also it's a very well-equipped medical bay.
I'd say we eliminate the zero gravity and try to help poor Bruce get back up his feet, right?
Well, he's back in. He's in gravity now, so he's sitting on the floor like nursing his wounds. He's in a lot of pain. He's been. This thing hit him.
Exactly.
But it did,
We patched him up.
So this thing has hit him with one of its tentacles, but you see a massive bruise right across his neck and chest. But upon Tom's inspection, there doesn't seem to be any breaking of the skin. The skin hasn't been broken at all.
I grabbed my hand scanner, and I'm trying to see if he's been infected now.
Okay. Roll science with +1.
Absolutely. So there we go. Science.
He does not seem to be infected.
Well, he's all clear. We don't have to execute him.
So what are we doing? Are we going to the med bay to check? Does this look like identical to the monster that I saw on the camera, or does it look like smaller or bigger? Because I'm wondering if this is like an extra one or like the one we saw on the one I saw.
They all seem to be similar size, like... Well, no. Some of them are the size of like a dog, like a Labrador, and then going up to the size of like a fridge.
Okay.
So a couple of cubic feet to a dozen cubic feet, kind of.
I mean, I'm going to say if we're going to go the med thing, maybe we want to go in stealthily in case there's like 20 of them in there.
So if you want to move stealthily, you roll subterfuge as you move.
And
Cody, turn off the zero gravity.
Oh, yeah, I
Going
guess
true.
you should. Yeah, you should do
You
the
turn the
gravity
anti-gravity
thing,
back, the artificial gravity back on in that wee hallway area. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if Rudy does it, he's at the consoles.
Okay. So, as you're moving, if you are moving quietly, I want you to roll subterfuge.
Okay. 9? I don't know if that's good or not.
That's not a success for you.
Oh, Camille's waiting for something to happen.
I mean, I'm not going in properly. I just want to like look in quickly and see, assess the situation.
You look in, and there does seem to be only one of the creatures. Let me pull one onto the map. And that's the one that's hugging the autodoc.
Alright, everyone. Let's advance. I think it's clear. As Camille moves closer.
You rolled successfully on subterfuge, didn't you?
I didn't roll for subterfuge.
Ah, okay.
But let's say that I do roll.
Okay.
13.
So you're sneaking quietly, but Erica failed on her subterfuge. Are you stopping there though, Erica? So the thing.
I was assessing to see how many there were. So if there's one, I reckon we could probably.
There's
take
just
it.
the one, and it's still hugging the autodoc, seemingly oblivious to you.
Anyone got any bombs?
I wouldn't suggest that.
Oh yeah.
Yours is staying back because he's well injured. In fact, he's just sitting on the floor here trying to rest. Rudy, are you going?
I guess I'll turn the gravity back on.
They're going to try and take on the creature.
Am I going to be able to move the whole way around there?
We can wait for you. We're not attacking it yet. We're
Yeah,
like,
they
waiting
wait for you.
it's there. Yeah.
Okay. So I may as well, yeah. Is that the whole of my turn, or can I go in and just shoot anyway?
We've not gone into an initiative order. We've not gone into a turn order yet. So how would you like to approach it? Are you going to try and somebody sneak in and get a sneak attack first, or are you just going to charge in and start blasting?
I don't mind. I mean, yeah, Chris is. I don't know how powerful is your little pistol?
In fact, let's make it easier for you. As soon as you all start gathering at the door, it turns and looks at you and starts coming towards you. So now we're in initiative order. Erica,
Open fire!
what would you like to do?
So we have to roll initiative again, right?
Nah, we'll just use the same initiative. Which means you've got a good initiative because there's 4 of you before the creature. You've got a good initiative. I'm being generous.
I'm gonna stand here and blast it.
Okay, give me a shot.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's
20.
a hit. Yeah, you can roll damage.
11.
Very good. Very, very good. So the thing... I mean, it's much the same as before. It's very hard to tell if you've hurt it or not, and you can't really tell. There's no blood. It does reel back and then come forward again. So it's you definitely hit it. You definitely slowed it down or something, but you don't. It's hard to tell if you hurt it.
I think I did 2 strong hits and I took it down. So I'm guessing
you did earlier. It was 2 strong hits.
Earlier. So someone.
Rudy's turn.
Oh, I'm gonna move back in. I'm like that was for there.
Okay. Yeah. So you run in, blast, and run back. I like it. Rudy, it's your turn.
I'm going to run in and I am going to pistol pulse that cunt. Why did you fucking run out, you fucking scaredy cat bitch?
Because I'm not an idiot like you. When you're like the entire. I
was gonna go this side and then divide and conquer. So then I didn't know fucking which way to go. But now you're just being a dickhead.
Like in real life, you're just a victim.
Chris, you spot a random knife on the floor in this room.
Does that hit 10?
No, it does not. You've rolled a 1, mate. Hence the red circle around it.
Run back in the room! Run back in the room!
Next. Engineer Boers does nothing. He's just going to sit there. Tom is the medic. So Tom is going to... In fact, Tom stays here and he's going to do another first aid test on Engineer Boers. There's medicine. And heal him for another D4. But that's the last use of the medkit that he had. So, Boers gets another 2 hit points back, and it's the creature's turn. Rudy! You are closest. Missed you. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy days. Camille.
Right, so I finally have a gun, so I'm also going to fire with my pulse pistol.
Yep. You've rolled the damage.
I missed.
You've rolled the damage.
Oh, I rolled the damage.
Yeah, you got to roll the hit first.
It's ranged combat first, right?
Ranged combat first.
Okay, there we go.
13, so that's a hit.
That's better. That's better.
Now, yeah, now roll the damage.
Okay, there we go. A 9.
A 9 was more than enough. Congratulations. Another one drops to the floor.
Now I hope you appreciate me more, Rudy, after I kill the thing that's attacking him.
You may have just saved his life. You may have just saved his life.
Bruce, Tom, come over here. We're going into the med bay. Get you patched up.
Okay, we're coming.
Officer Garcia, perhaps you should hold the corridor. Make sure we aren't being attacked in the back.
Oh, is that me? You want me to hold the
That's
door?
you,
Yeah, I
aye.
can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. I mean, I'm still worried you guys will get attacked in that room, but it's fair enough.
And I suppose me and Tom first order of business is looking for medpacks, right?
Yep. Make me a perception check.
Alrighty. And Tom also?
Yeah.
It's called Tom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spot. Roll me 1d6.
1d6. There we go.
You find 3 med packs, each doing 1d4. Each has 2 uses, and each use is 1d4. So you have 6 uses of 1d4 healing.
I'm keeping one for myself, I'm giving one to Tom, and I'm gonna give one to Rudy.
Okay. So you now have a med pack, Rudy. That's 2 uses of 1d4 healing. So you still need to make a medicine check to heal somebody, but the med pack gives you +1 on the roll, and it also gives you 1d4 healing. Whereas I think normally you just stabilize somebody when you do medicine on them. You need something to actually heal them, like a med pack or a first aid kit, to actually give them anything back. Okay, so what's the plan now?
Well, I'm looking if there's like a huge container of disinfectant. Like for for use.
Yeah, there is, but also there is a large crate full of, like I mentioned, there's a large crate full of liquid nitrogen canisters. Pressurized.
Well, I'm not an expert on liquid nitrogen. It's explosive, right? You can
Anything
trigger it to explode.
Anything pressurized is explosive. Liquid nitrogen.
Can we?
Roll me science.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll science because I'm thinking, can I like? Oh no, it's a 1. Can I like weaponize these into sort of grenades or something?
Somebody else roll science and fucking make a success, please. Your scientist just
Oh wait,
failed.
can I use my destiny for this?
Yes. So, interesting mechanic about Deep Space RPG we have not used before, viewers. Destiny rolls. You may spend points from one of your attributes to turn a failure into a success. So you see you've got 7 in strength and you need 1 to succeed. You may take 1 off your strength. Your strength is now 6 till the end of the adventure though. So what are you going to do? Where are you going to take it from?
I am going to... It needs to be from 1 skill, right?
From 1 skill.
I'm gonna take 6 out of my mechanical.
You only need 1 for a success.
Oh, then I just take
You only need to take
1.
1. You need 1 for
Then
a
I'll
success.
take 1 from my drive vehicle. Then
Okay.
in that case.
So you can turn that 12 into a 13 and you get a success. And with that science success, you know that liquid nitrogen is ultra cold. Liquid nitrogen is how you freeze things. It's how you freeze things to freeze warts off. It's how you freeze things to pierce people. It freezes flesh, it freezes skin, it freezes organic material. And you have several pressurized canisters of it.
I have a great idea, everyone. These things love the cold, right?
No, they hate the cold. It's the opposite. They hate the cold.
They hate the cold.
They
yeah.
like heat and energy. They're attracted to heat and energy sources, and they hate the cold.
We could sabotage a few of these canisters, throw them inside the engine room so they bugger off there, and then we can load the disinfectant into the fire sprinkling system, causing a whole ship purge.
So you're going to do 2 plans. You've got a double plan. You want to do...
Scare them out of the engine room with liquid nitrogen, like destroy one of the canisters so there's cold coming out of it, throw it inside so they're scattering off. and when they've cleared out of the engine room, we're going to insert disinfectant into the system so that we can purge the system that way.
Okay. I like it. That's a nice plan.
Cool.
Yeah, let's execute it.
If everyone's fine with that. Rudy?
Yep. I'm done. Rudy's doing it, right? Because and you're like the brains, and he's the like worker one who has to do it.
He's the mechanically minded one that can physically do the things. Aye.
Yeah. So it's between you two. I'm just here to shoot things.
I think that sounds like a much better plan than the sprinklers. So yeah.
So what do you want to
Oh,
do?
but
You
we're
want
still using the sprinklers, right?
So you're going for a 2-tier plan. David's planning on doing a liquid nitrogen explosion to scare them out of the engine room, and then you're going to purge the sprinkler system with disinfectant.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. Perhaps we should get Bruce up to his strength so he can carry the disinfectant. So you're working for your money. What currency do we even have in this time?
Galactic credits.
Oliver dollars.
No, Scottish pounds. Smackaroonies. Scottish smackaroonies. Aye, Scottish smackaroonies is the currency in the nation of RxOliver.
Right, Bruce, it's time to earn your smackaroonies, so you're going to be carrying that. But first, Tom, perhaps you could heal him up.
I'm all out of med packs. I only grabbed the one med pack when the ship got fucked.
But I gave him one.
Oh, you just gave him another one. Right, okay, so he's going to make 2 more medicine rolls.
Stop wasting all our stuff on the fucking NPCs. No one cares about them. Just saying.
Ignore that. That's mechanical.
Can you do a search roll in the med bay for some med packs? Because if the med bay doesn't have any med packs, then they're.
He's just found. Yeah, he found 3 med packs. He gave you one.
Yeah, he gave that.
He found 3 med packs and he gave you one.
Yeah, so I gave you one, Bruce. Rudy. Yeah, I gave you a med pack.
Bruce.
No,
Where's
Rudy.
Bruce? That's Rudy. Where's Bruce?
Oh, Bruce.
Bruce.
That's Bruce there. Okay.
Bruce.
So he's up to 11 hit points now. He's actually up to half his hit points now, which is not bad.
I like Bruce. Everyone else in this game can die. Burrs needs to survive.
I just saved your life, and I gave you a med pack. Why do you hate me?
I don't hate you.
This Chris, he's just a cunt, mate.
It's just like Bruce.
Okay, so what are we doing? Are we moving through the ship? Are we?
Yeah, Bruce is carrying the big canister of disinfectant.
So Bruce has got the big canister of disinfectant, right? Let's say it's like the Calor gas tanks you get.
Yeah.
It's one of the. It's like one of them size, right? Like Mr. Handy Fuel comes in Fallout, big fucking metal round thing. You've got one of them full of disinfectant.
Now, one of us needs the liquid nitrogen to turn into like a space tentacle beast repellent.
Now, the liquid nitrogen is you've got a crate of small pressurized canisters of it, but there's like 2 layers, so there's like 30 and then 30. There's like 60 canisters of liquid nitrogen in this crate. It's a big like beer crate size crate.
Yeah.
So someday we need to carry that as well. That'll be heavy.
I guess I don't think I need to roll for it. I think I'm pretty strong.
Yeah.
But also, if I'm carrying stuff, I can't have my gun as well. So I don't really want to be carrying stuff if it'll stop me shooting.
You should keep our back protected.
Yes.
And I'm looking at Rudy.
Somebody else.
You're a mechanic, aren't you?
Rudy's a mechanic.
Rudy's good at.
I'm an engineer.
Engineer. Yes.
There's a massive difference between an engineer and a mechanic.
True, but
an engineer makes things. A mechanic fixes things.
How about you show your strength to the ladies, right? And Camille gives you a little wink.
But I should give him a jiggle. Is it a wink and a jiggle? Because that's a different thing from a wink.
I believe in Joe Henry. That's the answer.
I'm not
can't
moving your
expect
You
tokens.
take
through
from
the
that what
area.
you fucking want.
I'm waiting for you guys to move
Yeah.
your tokens. I'm not doing it for you.
Oh no, well I'm coming. I'm at the back, so I'm gonna keep an eye out. But someone's gonna need to really be stealthy at the front as well, just on the off chance something's lurking.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Right, so what do I need to do? I'm carrying this tank the whole way there.
So what exactly are you planning on doing? What are you going to do with the liquid nitrogen when you get there? What are you going
Well,
to do exactly?
I was going to assume they're like beer cans, right?
Yep.
No,
So you just-
probably long tanks. If it's nitrogen.
I would say
long-
they're
Yeah.
I would say they're glass canisters with a little metal thing on the top, and it's pressurized. So it's like almost like an aerosol, a glass tube that's like an aerosol spray, basically.
So if you throw them, they break.
If you throw them, they break. They're glass.
So I'd
Or
say
you would assume if they throw them, they break. So they're glass. They're made of glass.
I'd say throw them into the engine room and cause those things to disappear. Because they don't like the cold at all.
How many are you gonna throw then? Because one's not gonna do a lot, right? You need like a load of them.
Or we shove it into the engine room and then deactivate the gravity there, and then reactivate it so they all fall at the same time.
That's a great idea.
Rudy.
That's not how gravity works. Gravity does not suddenly give something fucking the power to go up. It continues in its trajectory when gravity is turned off. So if we were rolling it per se into the room, we turned gravity off, it would continue to roll without having any resistance and force and not stop.
Science fiction.
I was just
It
gonna say,
doesn't matter.
it's
It doesn't
nice.
matter.
Double
It doesn't matter.
None of us
You
are
don't
physicists,
suddenly go-
Chris.
I've never seen Sir Chris so passionate about anything, and I could
Yeah, exactly.
I never didn't think it'd be
'Cause,
gravity.
look-
Fucking
There's a lot of
science
things I thought
fiction,
he liked,
mate.
Do you know-
but
right,
not gravity.
right. Do you remember the kid in school that really liked planets?
Yeah, was that you?
That was me. I didn't get the dinosaur autism. I got the planet autism. All right.
Oh, bless him. Yeah.
Autism,
shark
is-
one.
I also had
autism
the
the fucking
planet
size of a
autism, but-
planet. Yes, we're aware you got autism the size of a planet, Chris. We know.
Well, I had World War
Way.
II autism as a kid, so
I like the
I got-
Egyptian.
That's the worst one.
I
'cause
didn't
that
get any
fucking
autism.
turmoil.
I didn't get any autism. Just drug and alcohol addiction, mate.
I like the Egyptians. I think that's the gay one.
I'm just
You
an
go
old-
a little bit more about civilization.
just an old-fashioned fucking alcoholic, me, mate.
Right, so I've got all of the canisters, so I'm gonna press the button and I'm gonna just fuck them all in
Just launch
and
them
just
in the
hope
room.
for the best. Every single one of them.
Right.
I've picked up, I would say, from your description of what they are.
Now, before you
because
do
it's
this-
science fiction.
Before you do this, is everybody else still up at this end of the ship while he's doing it? Are you
Oh,
letting him
wait,
walk her
what?
down there on his own to do it?
No, I'm like. I mean, I presume we're keeping quite close together. It's just that
So
I'm like.
So before he
Well,
does
at the
this,
end.
Someone-
put your tokens where you're going to be when he does this.
Oh, well, I'll be.
Okay.
Where is it? So we're going
Wait.
to the engine room, right?
when he's in the engine room, right?
When he's
Because
going
I
to
would
the engine room,
assume-
he's going to be just outside the engine room because he's going to throw it
Okay.
in the door.
Either Camille would be in the bridge to activate the whole plan, or she would be in the field to help. But that would have us spend a lot of minutes.
Are you gonna turn off the?
Yeah, Camille's
Bear
gonna be in the
mind,
bridge to do the
we-
whole plan from
we can't-
computer.
We can't communicate with each other.
But I see through the cameras, right?
Yep, the cameras are on. True.
Let's
Is there
say
a
that
camera
I-
in the hallway?
And we all know sign language, so we can just do
No, you
that.
don't fucking know sign language. Fuck off.
Yeah, you thought-
Space sign language.
you- Yeah, like we just do that, like
So-
Chris does.
So Camille's in the bridge, ready to do the gravity. Yeah?
Let's say Tom's with me, so we aren't.
If they're made out of
Yes.
glass, I can just throw them really hard.
That's just true. You can just throw them really hard.
Yeah, but then we'd have to troll them all one after another. So if we drop them all in at
You
once,
could throw them, and I could shoot one of them, and they'd be like a chain
Er-
reaction, and they'd all break.
Erica, Could you
What?
do me a favor? Could you go open the other doors for me, please? So that when I throw these, they don't all suddenly decide to come out the door that I've just thrown them in.
That is a good plan. I'm glad that all my security thing you just want
And
to choice and close
Bruce
the
is
door.
also with you, right? Bruce is with you.
No. He's too injured.
No,
he's
they're
staying near the
scaredy
medic.
bastards. They're
He's staying near
standing up
Tom.
there in the
He's
med
staying up
room
there
having
with
a
Tom,
wank.
But he was
Fun.
going to. You know what? Then I'm going to carry the disinfectants, and I'm joining these guys
Okay.
because someone
Okay.
needs to take control from the engine room and execute the plan from there.
Did Erica just walk into the room full
No,
of all this shit?
Whoa,
I
whoa.
was trying to find where the door was.
The
to,
door's this black line.
Okay.
It's just
yeah,
kind of
I'm
under
okay
your
with-
label. See the
sorry.
black lines?
You're
That's
not-
why I couldn't. That's why I couldn't see. Yeah, my thing. Was
You're
like
not. Oh, because you can't see black lines. Right, yeah.
Shit, I
Okay.
just moved the whole fucking map.
All right. So let's say the two NPCs are going
Erica's
to
in the
execute the
middle.
plan from the bridge.
in between the places.
Yeah, you go to that door, right? And then when you start hearing smashing glass, that's when you know you've got to open that door and run.
Shut up.
No. Stop moving back to where I am. I need you to open the other door.
I'm not touching it.
I don't want them to run
So-
into the hallway.
When you
I
open
don't
the
want them
door,
to run into the hallway.
when you open the door, Rudy, you see that sight. Loads of them. There's fucking loads of them. The engine room and the power core are full of them. What are you doing?
Right, Erica, go into the other fucking. Go to the other room. See the one adjacent. The other doors into the engine room.
This one.
Yes, there you go. Very good. Right. So when you hear the smashing of glass, that's when you're gonna fucking open that door and you're gonna run like fuck. Because you're
Okay.
faster than me, and at least then they get flooded into the cargo hold, and then you can close the door behind you, rather than them all coming into the hallway where we are.
Is
Okay,
there
but
a door here we can close or open so we
Yep.
can lock the cargo holds?
Yep.
Oh, well,
Okay, so
it's-
let's say that
would
I stay
assume-
there.
When you're gonna open the door for Erica being
Actually,
Yeah,
David,
and then close it.
David, I hate to do this to you, but I've got a funny feeling that the black lines are doors and there isn't one there. But
Yeah, that's why I
but
was
to
asking.
be fair, I said there was one there before, so let's be consistent and say there is a door there.
Okay,
there's
all
a
right.
door.
Because there's double doors where I am, so I'm really cool. I have loads of doors.
Mm-hmm.
you got double doors.
I have, like a real
right,
lady.
so-
Double doors.
Let's do this. The door opens, Chris. What'd you do?
Throw.
Throw. So, no need for a roll. You throw the thing, and are you just trying to make them break? You're just trying to break them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, give me a strength roll. I want to see how hard you throw them. Yeah, I'm going to make you make a roll. It's an RPG. You roll dice.
But if he does bad, we can do the
Oh,
grab
he's rolled a
thing, right?
critical. No, he's rolled a critical. So,
Perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
he launches this crate end over end, and it's barreling through the air, and the crate collides head on with one of the creatures. The creature goes flying back, and several of the glass canisters burst, and you see the psh, like when you burst an aerosol and it explodes, you see jets of really cold liquid nitrogen blast across the room. The one that you hit instantly just completely just shrivels and drops, and the rest of them, they all seem to move away. Some of them, you're not sure if they've moved out of holes in the ship. Maybe some of them moved into the power core, but they all seem to have moved away from you. This one is dead.
All right, and where is the fire extinguishing inserting thing?
Let's say it's just here. And it basically,
Where?
it's just around here. It doesn't matter. It's thematic. But
Okay.
basically, let's say there's just a big circular hole. You drop a canister in. Say like a fire extinguisher shaped thing. You
Yeah.
drop one in it. That then pumps it into the system. You can do that with your disinfectant.
All right, cover me. And I try to make towards the system. and drop the disinfectant in.
I want you to make a roll. I want you to make a mechanical roll to work to operate the mechanism.
How much do I need?
You need 4 points.
4? I'm going to lower my points.
What are you lowering?
Let me see. So earlier I chose drive vehicles, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time I'm going to lower my subterfuge.
Okay, so you are less.
Oh no, my strength. Wait, can I go to a 0? Can I go to a 0? No, right.
Minimum of 1.
Then it's gonna be my subterfuge instead.
Okay. So you manage to. The thing, you have to jiggle with it at first, and then you realise that there's like a little latch that you have to pull this latch over, and that's what it wasn't. And then as soon as you pull the latch in, it drops in, and you hear a click, and then you hear a whoosh sound as all this stuff is like sucked into the pipes of the ship.
Okay. The moment it's in there, I try to rush back to behind Rudy.
Okay.
And like wave at the camera or something, so the people in the bridge know to activate the sprinklers.
Okay. That's a failure on perception. That's a failure.
That's definitely a failure on perception.
So they didn't see it. They didn't see you yet, and I'm not doing destiny rolls for NPCs.
Why aren't they activating the system? Must be something wrong there. Erica, Rudy.
Huh?
I think there's some issues in the bridge. They aren't activating the system.
Are you just
And she
gonna
looks
wait?
over at. I look over at Rudy, and I hope that Erica hears me.
Oh, my internet went out for like a second. What did you say?
Okay. Well, Camille cried out that they didn't respond in the bridge, so we better check that out.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I was just looking through the door, so I can run back to check.
You'd have to run through this way, though.
Can't he go
Oh
this
no,
way?
you can go that way. Yeah, you can go that way.
Yeah.
And
so you can hear
just to be certain,
Camille
we
shouting,
can close those doors, right?
You hear Camille shout, "There's something wrong in the bridge! They're not pumping the system. They're not doing the disinfectant." And you hear her shouting that. Just.
Huh.
What would you like to do?
So we did the plan, right? The plan was put the stuff in.
You've got the stuff that's into the system. You just now need to hit a button in the bridge to flush the system.
Well, that sounds easy enough. Cool. I guess we'll start running and see who gets there first.
Okay, you start running.
Okay, great. I'm going to let
As you
Erica
start
get there
running,
first.
the creatures start moving back towards the engine room. Slowly, because they're still cold, but slowly, the creatures are moving back towards the engine room.
I'm staying behind Erica, but she's going to be my human shield in case something's wrong.
Okay. Okay, so with another round, you
Rudy!
guys would get to about there. And then, at this point, the creatures are all kind of swarming back into here.
Rudy, come on!
And one of them looks at Rudy and goes to attack. But it's not its turn yet.
Oh, Rudy, you should have ran like you said you were gonna.
So, Erica, Rudy, it's your turn. You are here. One of the creatures is like unfurling his tentacles and it's coming for you. It's warmed back up and it's coming for you. What would you like to do?
Gonna throw the rest of the canisters at it.
Oh, did you not launch all the
Okay.
canisters?
No.
There's a lot, right?
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you
That's
kept
quite a
one
lot.
or
No,
two.
they're not gonna have just like fucking one thing.
No, I thought
Like,
you launched.
I've got
I
two
thought you launched the
hands.
whole. I thought you'd launched the whole crate at once.
No.
Let's say let's say you had one was in your pocket. You've got one left in your pocket. Okay, there's one left.
Okay. Yeah, so that I don't break the game. Yeah, that's fine.
Yep. You want to?
Okay, so
It's yeah. So what did you roll on? Strength. To throw it.
strength.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna make you make a. Yeah, okay. So you hit it, and it this, because it's only a little bit, the thing does break, but it's only one this time. The thing recoils, but only for a second. So it recoils back, but only for a second, and then it's coming back for you. Rudy, your turn. Oh no, that was your turn. Sorry, Boers' turn.
No, I didn't move. I just fucking threw it, so I'm gonna fucking run.
Yeah, true, you didn't move. Okay, now it's Boers' turn. Boers is now going to make a perception check again to see if he can see you guys running up the corridor. Nope.
Blind.
And nope. Now
What are they doing?
Now it's the creatures. So one of them is going to move to about here. And another couple are going to follow it. Camille, it's your turn.
So the first thing Camille does is look over his shoulder and just blindly try to fire, well, not hit Rudy, but like a quick fire at one of the creatures.
So you fire
and
without
then
looking?
Continue, right? No, I'm not firing without looking. She's just a quick turn, shoot, and then run back. So she isn't aiming specifically, but she is trying to.
Yep, give me
at least not
give me a
hit
ranged
Rudy.
combat roll then.
Alrighty.
If you roll a fumble, you're hitting Rudy. Roll a 1. No, that's a success. You may roll
Okay,
damage.
so it's the damage.
You hit it for 3 points of damage. Well done.
A 9, right?
Oh, 9 points of damage. Sorry.
Because they included
Yeah,
the
sorry.
automatic damage.
Yeah, I
it's
was
got.
just looking at the dice. Yeah. Okay. Anything else from your turn?
And, well, I'm not. I just did a quick turn and then I'm running, and I
then you
keep
run,
running. How
okay.
far do I get?
About 12 squares. About 12 sizes your tokens. Aye. Something
Okay.
like that.
And can I start yelling as I run?
Yeah.
Tom,
You can yell.
Bruce,
You can yell.
turn it on!
Okay.
Turn it on!
So you're yelling at Tom and Boers. I'm going to get them to make another perception check for the listening.
How horrible are these NPCs? Okay.
Boers hears it. Ah! Shit! Shit! And Boers he goes, Tom! Hit the switch! Hit the switch! But it's neither of their turn. So it's Erica.
Okay, so I guess I can't get all the way into the bridge on my turn, but I can probably get within earshot of them, right? You said it's about 12. 2, 3, 4.
And you can also shoot like I did.
Yeah, I could do that as well, couldn't I? Well, that's taking me like 9, so yeah, I guess I'll shoot while I was on the way. 4. 19.
19, that's great.
Yeah, but well, I maybe shoot one of you by mistake, and if it'll
Oh,
get
that
cover
was
from.
a 1.
Oh, okay. I guess I am a good
Yeah,
shot.
no, you're good with the 19. You can hit it with the 19.
Okay. Okay. 11.
11 damage.
And then I think I can move. Did I say 9? So I guess I can move a little bit more.
Yep. So that one dropped. You actually killed that one, which was the one that was closest to Rudy, which is handy for
That's
him.
right. Mm-hmm.
It's now your turn, Rudy.
Oh, can I shout out, because I'm within earshot, hopefully, of the bridge, like what's going on?
Yep.
Can I at least shout something yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's fine.
Rounds are 6 seconds. You get 6 seconds worth of speech.
Oh, I'll just say, yeah, what's going on, and then if they say something cool.
Was that you shooting, is it?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, that's a hit. You can roll damage. 10. Cool. One takes 10 damage. Anything else? Moving. Cool.
Further down the hall.
Boers.
And then
On his turn.
close that door.
Yep. And then Boers, on his turn, runs over to the panel and he's like, fuck, which button is it? And now he's going to roll science. No, he's going to roll mechanical because he doesn't have a science skill.
He isn't going to get his schmelligans, or how are we calling the currency again?
Smackaroonies. And he's rolled a
Smackaroonies.
12, which is a fail. But after him, it's the medic's turn. Now, the medic, he does have a science skill, so I'm going to get him to roll on science. And he does know where the button is. So he slams the button. Tom slams the button on the console. And when you're looking through the cameras, you see, first of all, you hear an alarm goes off. Beep, 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 beep. Red lights start flashing. And you hear the of sprinklers firing up. It's not water sprinklers, they are firing out gas. And it is disinfectant gas. And looking through the screens on this one, you see down in here all of these things reacting. They react in, like, see if you were to set fire to a spider like that, and there's fucking tentacles flailing everywhere, and they're slamming into each other, and they're trying to escape, and you see some of them get out and they escape through holes in the hull of the ship, and a couple of other are banging at each other, and then they start fighting with each other, and their tentacles are tearing each other apart, and you see one get ripped completely apart by another one just fucking barrels into another one, smashes into a wall, and they both die. And then as the disinfectant just completely covers them, you see they start to bubble. They bubble like acid on skin, and they eventually, one by one, they all drop to the ground, and they all die.
Well, that's the second session that Camille commits a genocide.
You just wiped out a species. Now, if you can make me... If
Not a species, parasite.
If one person can make me a pilot starship, or... No, if one person can make me a pilot starship, you can power up the engine, and you can get this thing running. But I need somebody to roll pilot starship.
I'll do it.
Because the navigator's dead, aren't they?
The navigator is dead.
Ching
is
died.
dead, yeah.
Chang.
We got 7. That doesn't seem good.
Would you like to
Would
you like to spend
700
destiny?
destiny?
Would you like to spend 6 destiny to get a 13? You have to lower one of your skills by 6 points, and it's right.
But this is it. Like, once this game ends, it restarts, right?
I mean, you're
not going to change it.
Martin,
you're not going to say next week, well, I read the book, and now
you've played as many one shots as me. You know when the one shot's nearly over me. Yeah, I don't have to tell you. Like,
how many points do I need to spend?
You need a 13, so you need to spend 6.
Oh, so I really need to
make a note of what you're reducing as well, because if these characters survive, they'll all get a level up.
Okay, but you're not going to make me keep this stat forever.
No, it's only until the end of the adventure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the 6 from my close combat just in case you change your mind.
Don't even bother changing your sheet. Just write a note somewhere that you've got that, so that if you roll in close combat, we're using a new number. So don't even bother changing your sheet, because it's going to get changed back at the end of an adventure.
For now, it changed to 3 for now, just in case anything else. But yeah, I'll do that to get the ship where it's
Erica
going.
spends her destiny points, spends her skill to do a destiny roll. The ship powers up. The singularity drive powers up, which is what you need to be able to travel any distance. You need the singularity drive to be working. The singularity drive fires up. The ship's engines all fire up. Its thrusters fire up, and you can plot a course for somewhere. You can get back to the trade routes, and within a day and a half, you'll be somewhere relatively safe. Now, as you're moving away from this gas giant planet, the whole thing starts to pulsate as if it's alive, and red and blue lightning flashes in the deep clouds and in the shadow. For a brief moment, it just seems like the whole gas giant seems to expand and 5 tentacles move around for a second, and then your singularity drive hits 100 on the dial, and you warp out of there, and the last thing you see is this whole planet just pulsing and vibrating with red and blue lightning, and then just 5 black tentacles just pop open from it, and that's the last thing you see as you shoot away into space and out to safety. And that.
And have we got the coordinates for that? Because he maybe want to tell someone about that situation.
And you don't have any coordinates for that. No one knows where that is. And
Is there
that will remain
any
a mystery.
DNA sample that I can salvage from the dead creatures?
If you had any of the creature's DNA on you, you'd be dead already. But no, there are dead creatures in the ship, so you can, you'd be able to. So let's say that you managed to take a sample back to the nation of RxOliver, to your lab where you work as a scientist, and you'll probably
where I create bioweapons.
where you start creating bioweapons for this great military nation of RxOliver. Yes, that is a story for another day, though.
Yeah.
That was Tin Can Idaho for Deep Space. Thank you very much for playing, gentlemen, and thanks very much for watching, everybody on Twitch. We really appreciate you. I'm going to do a little thing for the YouTube video, and then I'll talk to you guys. So, YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Chris, David, and Martin, thank you very much for playing. I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely loved it.
John Hicks, thanks for the advice pre-game for how to run it. You're a legend. And thanks for creating this amazing game, John. We love this game.
Yeah, we love it.
Keep up the great work. Thanks for the... He sent me another scenario
Everyone
today.
should buy it.
Everyone should buy it. I've got another scenario that I got from John today.
You just need to buy it.
This game is... Pay what you want on DriveThruRPG. Go to DriveThruRPG and search for Deep Space. Buy this game. It is brilliant. John is a legend. You should support TTRPG writers of all levels. John is a small creator who writes amazing games and puts them out for next to nothing and even sometimes nothing. Go check him out. But anyway, I'm waffling. Let me sign out my YouTube video. Chris and Martin and David, thank you very much for playing. Viewers, thank you very much for watching. This was Deep Space. We'll see you soon for another one. Bye-bye. Oh, remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. Good night, God bless.
Good night, God bless.
God bless.